The day is finally here, and it's a new carry in Paragon at last. Her name is SERATH, and she's a goddamn melee carry, the first to ever enter the world of Agora and of course Paragon itself. We've been begging for a new carry for a kind of worrying amount of time, and I didn't think anyone expected it when it finally came to come in melee form. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out. Will she be viable? How's she going to stack up against Twin Blast and Murdoch? But right off the bat, let me just say how awesome she looks. She looks like an angel from Diablo, or hell, even the boss from Fury actually. But we also see this complete opposite side to her. She's actually both angel and devil. SERATH has these two sides, and that dark side she has looks fucking awesome. But visuals aside, let's get down to it, shall we? SERATH claims the Order and Corruption affinities, which is a very deadly combo. Order comes with great variety of utility and survivability, while Corruption fills out damage and lifesteal cards. A card that I'm definitely thinking about is Void Steel Dagger, being that as a carry, most of her damage should come from her basic attacks, and Void Steel Dagger is going to help with that. The question is, how does a squishy carry function in melee range, where big ultimates and damage is going to be thrown? Her abilities are going to allow her to close gaps, which is really useful, able to stick to an enemy when she wants to, right? But it's her ability to do it while she's hit by stuns and ultimates. First up, Heaven's Fury. SERATH will float and then begin to slash at every enemy near her one by one, which, by the way, can of course hit multiple enemies, dealing basic damage to each enemy hit in a chain of slashes, rather than like a big explosion. You can actually see a cinematic version of this ability as she's cleaving through the crowd, which is dope. Oh, and while she's doing this, she's apparently immune to damage and CC. All CC. Yeah, you heard that right. She takes no damage, and you can do nothing to stop her from attacking you while she's using this ability. Nuts. Fucking nuts. Timing on this ability is going to be vital. If you're a carry and you've got to be in melee range, an ability that's going to keep you alive is something you need to value. You're going to have to use it at the right time to avoid abilities like a Steel Ulti or a Deca Stun. But the fact that you're immune to damage as well is the kicker. Like, enemy carries won't stand a chance. You just run up and do this to them. Next, Chastise. A simple ability, smack an enemy with your mace doing damage, and it also applies a slow. It's a solid way to dish out some extra damage, and it's probably very likely that it's a frame cancel as well. Think about Grux's Double Pain, for example. It's a simple basic attack, then you Chastise, and then your basic attack, which will provide a solid burst of damage, and it's going to slow the target too, making them easier to pin down and kill. It's also got a cleave effect though, just like Double Pain again, but instead of applying a bleed, you get a slow, which is pretty solid, especially for a carry. Her third ability sends her into the air again, but even higher, where you climb into the air and dive straight back down to your target area, dealing some AoE damage to anyone or anything inside of it. This will be a solid escape and chase ability, given it has respectable distance on the ability. And given the fact that it sends you into the air, the height of the ability, you'll also probably be able to use it to traverse terrain, climbing up ledges to escape, or even surprise attack people in fights. The target area appears to have a similar size to Bellica's Pulse Bomb, so, you know, fairly small, but missing it looks hard because of the speed at which it comes out. Finally, the big bad ultimate, Heresy, transforming her into the devil she really is, giving a burn effect to every ability she has, which will provide a weakness aura around those who are burning. So clumped up enemies will cause this chain reaction of weakening one another when they're near to each other. That's awesome after a Steel Ult or a Gideon Black Hole, for example. Not to mention, those burning are also going to take extra damage from SERATH's basic attacks too. The enemies are weaker and they take more damage from you too. That's so awesome. Bear in mind, for those of you who are thinking about how you're going to face SERATH or how you're going to fight her, well, all those cards that have the while burning effects might actually be relevant now. In fact, some of them might be fantastic cards, so get thinking and get building your decks. There you have it. A melee carry that can make herself immune to damage, immune to CC, and deal scary damage through the use of frame cancels, flying through the air like Muriel, where you can use that to dodge abilities as well, right? And setting fire to everyone in her path. So she sounds awesome, she looks awesome, and I cannot wait to play her. How do you feel about her character so far? Are you for or against the idea of a melee carry? It's actually been done before in other MOBAs, and it can work really well if the abilities of the character help carry it. And what we've heard so far, in my opinion, it certainly sounds like they will. I think her design has to be one of my favorites in Paragon so far, and a tiny bit of lore for you while we're here. She's apparently desperate for revenge, which is what causes her dark side to come out. And it looks like it has something to do with SERATH, who's simply laughing at her while she prepares to fight her revenge form. Have a listen.
And a thirst for revenge.
Maybe it's that SERATH killed someone that she cared for. I don't know, who knows? But we know that SERATH's also tied to Countess, who's looking for SERATH, who's basically working with him in some way, right? And you'll note that she looks horrified during the cinematic when SERATH comes for her. So maybe Countess is involved as well as SERATH. Who knows? But I think we might learn more in the dev stream that's coming up, in which lore has been teased out with each new character reveal. Either way, I cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Expect SERATH gameplay and guides here on the channel with her release. But that's all for now. Thank you again. Bye for now.